What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another guide. This time I'll be telling you guys how I play Evelynn jungle. If you find this guide helpful in any way, please do remember to click that like button, as this will help me get this guide out there to more people. Also, if anything changes that will affect this guide, there will be an update in the description. The following subjects will be mentioned in this guide: champion description, abilities, leveling order, runes, masteries, the item build, and the jungle strategy. If you want to go to a specific subject, you can click on it right now. Champion description. Evelynn is a very versatile champion that can adapt her build really easily. Also, Evelynn is one of the few champions that has a stealth mechanic, meaning that she can gank like it's nothing. The only thing that counters her is true vision, and this is a real investment from the other team. This stealth mechanic puts out a lot of pressure onto the enemy team, because you can legitimately walk over any ward that is not a pink, and pink wards are clearable. If you want to play a very adaptable champion with a lot of pressure and ganking potential, Evelynn is definitely the champion for you. Evelynn's abilities. Her passive, Shadow Walk. Evelynn stealths into the shadow, only being seen by nearby champions or true side. While stealth, Evelynn regenerates 2% of her missing mana every second and ignores unit collision. This ability scales with your level. The higher level you are, the faster you go into stealth when you're out of combat. Her first ability, Hate Spike. Evelynn fires a line of spikes through a nearby enemy, dealing magic damage to all enemy units in its path. This is Evelynn's main damage source, as this only has 1.5 second cooldown. This skill is used for clearing both your jungle and minion waves insanely fast, and it gives you a lot of AoE damage in teamfights. This skill firstly prioritizes Evelynn's most recent target, and it will target low health units, secondly if Evelynn has not attacked the unit. Her second ability, Dark Frenzy. Evelynn removes all slows affecting her, gains increased movement speed for 3 seconds and ignores unit collision. Champion kills and assists refresh Dark Frenzy's cooldown. This skill is used to catch up to enemies after they flash away, or to make sure you can get out of a sticky situation very quickly, because you can go in and kill a target and then get a reset and run away again. Her third ability, Ravage. Evelynn slashes a target twice, dealing physical damage and applying on-hit effects with each strike. Evelynn then gains bonus attack speed for 3 seconds. The bonus attack speed scales per level, going up to 120%. This skill scales with both AD and AP and is an auto attack reset, so make use of that. Her fourth ability, Agony's Embrace. Evelynn impales all enemy units in a targeted 250 radius area, dealing magic damage equal to a percentage of their current health and slowing their movement speed for 2 seconds. For each enemy hit, Evelynn gains a shield that lasts up to 6 seconds. This skill is mainly used to engage teamfights with, as it slows down the enemies for a good amount and it offers you a massive shield if you can hit multiple targets, allowing you to soak up a lot of enemies' damage. Always use the skill first in your rotation if you want to use it at all, because this skill goes with current health, so it will deal more damage the more health the enemy has. Leveling these abilities. On level 1 I start with my Q, because this is your main damaging skill. Then on level 2 I get E for more damage onto camps and overall quicker clears. Then on level 3 I'll mostly get my W with E, because you want to start ganking as soon as you can. But if you decide to farm till level 4, get a second point into your Q. As far as maxing goes, I'll max my Q first for the highest damage output, then I'll max my E second for the increase in attack speed it gives, as well as the higher damage output, and I max my W last because leveling this only gives you a movement speed buff that scales with levels, and initial level is already more than enough. Of course, you take your R whenever possible. The runes. I go for 9 flat 80 marks, 9 flat armor seals, 9 flat AP blues, and 3 flat AP quints. I take the flat 80 marks because this offers you more auto attack damage, and this will help you out in clearing and more damage for invades early on. Also, going flat 80 makes sure you can still go for every single build path, because if you were to go like magic pen only, then this isn't as effective. However, you can also choose to go for hybrid pen marks. These are just fine, but they're just really expensive. I personally just prefer the raw damage that flat AD offers you. Then I take 9 flat armor seals to survive your jungle in the early game, and I take flat AP glyphs and quints to increase my early game damage even more, so you can start ganking with a good amount of damage. This will also help you beat the other jungler in an early 1v1 if you were to invade him. However, you can also go for movement speed quints instead of the flat AP. This will help you roam the map a lot faster. The Masteries. I go for 12, 18, 0 on Evelynn. The reason I go for this page is because it will help you burst people when you surprise them. Getting Tunnel Lords on Eve is the best option, because all you will have to do is use E and Q and you will have to proc on the enemy. I get Exposed Weakness in the Ferocity tree because this helps your team deal more damage when you flank the enemies with your ultimate later in the game. And I take the increased buff duration in the Cunning tree because this will offer you a longer duration on your red buff, which offers you better ganks for a longer period of time. The item builds. I have 3 different item builds for Evelynn, but out of these 3 builds, I personally prefer using the first one. So let's get on to the first build. To start off, you want to get a Hunter's Talisman and 3 health potions. I get the Hunter's Talisman because as Eve you just spam your Q onto the jungle camps and it's really effective that way. I get 3 health potions over the refillable potion because you need it to clear and invade early on. 3 health potions pretty much means that you will be at a lot higher health to duel your opponent or fight off potential invades. After your first clear, you want to go back and buy the skirmisher upgrade to your jungle item. The reason you want this is because it will help you survive difficult situations and it will also help you kill a lot of enemies. At this point, you want to finish your jungle item off with the Runic Echoes enchant. This is really nice pickup on Evelynn because it will mean that you will roam the map a lot faster. After your jungle item, you want to get yourself a pair of swords. These will help you run around even faster, but they will also allow you to deal a lot more damage. At this point, I will generally go for allies as soon as possible, because this will offer me a lot more potential to stick to targets. Plus, it will make me a fair amount tankier. After allies, to get a lot of damage, I built Leandries. Combining these two items will allow you to kill anything insanely fast, and that is pretty much all the damage you have to build until the very late game. So at this stage I'll buy a couple tank items. I get Frozen Heart and Banshees. Combining these two will make it very difficult to deal with you and will also make you insanely tanky whilst you have a lot of damage. Then for the AD build, you go for the same start, but instead of getting the AP enchant you get the AD one. After that, I prefer going for the Swiftnet boots in this build because you won't have that massive movement speed bonus from your Runic Echoes. At this stage you should build a Hex Drinker, but if they don't have any magic damage then you can also just rush into a Cleaver and get a Gauntlet with it. So after finishing your Cleaver and Maw or Gauntlet, you need to get tankier, and these items come in the form of Deadman's Plate and Sterix. Deadmans give you a lot of movement speed as well as armor and health, and Sterix just makes sure you cannot get deleted. And finally for the hybrid build. This build is kind of strange, but it actually works really well, so just try it out for yourself and see if you like it. Anyway, the start is the same, but instead of the Warrior enchant or the Runic Echoes enchant, you get the Devourer enchant. This is optimal for this build. But you can also decide to do this build with a Runic Echoes enchant if you would prefer that. After your jungle enchant, you want to get a pair of Swiftnet boots to help you roam the map fast. You could also decide to go for some mobility boots, but this is up to you. At this stage, it's time to start building them hybrid items. First, you want a Rage Blade. This works really well with your E as it will double proc and instantly give you a lot of damage. After Rage Blade, you want to get a Gunblade to give you a lot of sustain in fights and also a big damage increase. Now all you have to do at this stage is get tankier, and this comes in the form of Deadmans and Sterix. The jungle strategy. In the background right now you can see my standard clears with Evelynn. I don't do these clears very often as I invade quite a lot on Eve. As far as spell rotation goes for clearing, it's pretty much just use your E first and then spam your Q button. So the main thing I'll talk about right now will be how to effectively stack your Devourer if you would like to go for a build that includes this item. And after this I'll also mention what you should do in teamfights with Evelynn. So first things first, you want to get the Devourer. Generally you can get this pretty quick on Eve because getting early kills is not that difficult. This is because of a stealth mechanic. After you actually get your Devourer, at the around 9-minute mark should be your goal. Faster is great, slower and you will probably need some improvements. You want to start by doing an instant dragon on Evelynn. You will need a few health pots to actually make sure you can get it, but the refillable potions should be enough. After you've cleared the dragon by legit just spamming your Q and E whenever you can, you want to just clear the Scuttle Crabs. This will offer you 7 stacks instantly. And if you get both Scuttle Crabs, this will offer you 9 stacks instantly total. Remember that the crab has a 3-minute cooldown, so try to time these so you can get back there when they spawn and get maximum stack efficiency. When Scuttle and Dragon are down, you want to look for the Rift Herald. So first off, you will have to look for a gank on top lane. You want to pick top lane because if you help your top laner has a much easier time helping you with the Rift Herald. If you help your mid laner and you ask your mid laner to come help you, it will generally end up going pretty bad since the mid laner is not that tanky. Now, a quick touch on invading. You can easily invade all champions at either their first or their second buff. Because if you time it correctly, you can sneak in the buff steal and then have the power advantage to kill them as they cannot see you from where you're standing out of the range. Also, when it comes to team fighting with Evelynn, you want to make sure you sweep in from behind or the side to get your ultimate onto multiple people for a solid engage. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it or learned anything from it, please do remember to click that like button right below this video as this helps me get this video out there. If you would like to see more guides like this, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!